Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I wanted to talk today about how to get started with your brand. So I had an interesting discussion this morning. I was at an event, and we were talking about branding and marketing, and someone asked about what's the difference? Why is it important to have the branding? And what it really came down to was that branding is a part of marketing, but here's the thing: branding comes first. You really can't start marketing yourself until you know what your brand is, right? So all too often, business owners will say, hey, I really need to get out there. I need to start marketing my business right away. And they start, going heavy on social media. They're attending all these events, they're speaking, whatever they can do to get their business name out there. But then they find that they're attracting the wrong people, or sometimes they're not attracting anyone. And businesses who have been in business for a while may also experience some of this. They just get frustrated because they're just having these, kind of nasty clients a lot of the time, or it's just a serious hustle. So I think by now you can figure out that having that brand in place first is really important. So how do you get started? Well, in order to get started, before you do any of this marketing, you need to have some foundational elements in place. The first one has to do with the problem that you solve. It's important to know, we all have lots of problems that we can solve, by the way, but it's important to know what sort of that one overarching problem is, because that kind of becomes a little bit of a guiding light for you as you walk through the rest of these foundational elements. I'm going to give you an example from my own experience so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. As a brand photographer, I can solve many problems for my clients. I can solve the problem of overwhelm, right? Because they're overwhelmed about all the steps necessary to get their brand photos done. I can help with that. I can help them with the problem of anxiety. Oh my gosh, I don't want to have my photos taken. Yeah, we can help you with that. We can set things up so that you don't feel as anxious about taking this step for your business. But really, when I super dug down into it, I realized that the problem that I solve is obscurity, because my clients want to become known. They want to be visible in their space. They want to be the experts, right? They want to show up like that. So if I solve the problem of obscurity for them, then they're able to achieve all those goals that they have. And by solving that problem for them, I'm solving all the other ones too. So hopefully that makes some sense and helps you a little bit when you're thinking about that. The second element that you need to figure out is who you serve, okay? Or said a different way, I have this problem that I solve, but who do I solve it for, right? So in order to do that, you really need to kind of dig down into that ideal client. I'm sure everyone's heard of that ideal client avatar or ideal client audience, or whatever way you want to term it. But here's what you need to know about it. You need to get very detailed on the demographics of that person. Where do they live? Are they married or single? Do they have kids? Do they have dogs? Whatever detailed information you can get that's factual about that person. Second thing you want to be dialed into is, what are the emotions that your ideal client has? What keeps them up at night, or why do they get up in the morning? What excites them? All of these things are very important in terms of digging down into the psyche of the person that you really want to reach. And you might be guessing the reason for this is because this part of it is how you figure out the pain points and how you start to develop your message to reach those people. So the last thing, well, it's not the last thing, but it's the last thing on this list for today. So the last element on this list is what makes you unique. It's also called your unique selling proposition, but it's the thing that sets you apart from everyone else in your industry that's doing what you're doing. You need to know that. That can be very difficult to do, but I promise you, if you put in that work to try and figure out that thing, it creates so much confidence in your messaging and your brand, in you being able to do almost everything else in your business, because without a doubt, when you're talking to anyone, you can tell them, this is what makes me different. And so you can't go to anybody else, right? So you want that. So here's the thing. I know it's really hard to do this. It's like you can't see the label on the outside of the bottle that you're in. We're all like that, all of us. Even those who are in the branding field still need help from someone else. So if you have questions as you're going through this, please put them in the comments. We'd love to hear that. We also have brand strategists that are in the group, and they would be happy to jump in and help you. We all want to help you. And then the last thing I want to say about this topic is when you have those elements in place, you're going to be ready to go ahead and start being more visible. You're going to be ready to hire a photographer that will represent your brand the way you need it represented. You will be able to hire someone to help you with your videos, or you'll be able to do your own videos knowing that you have this message all dialed in. You'll be able to have some crazy awesome messaging that speaks exactly to the right person. So it's really powerful. So I really recommend that you go through these steps. If you've been through them before, go back through them and just make sure that they're really tight and you really know. And I hope that if this is helpful, please let us know your questions. And thanks so much for being in this group. We love having you here. Bye.